I'm Dylan Stevens, and I set up the website for Dr. Barbara Thiering, who had a few published books that were very popular. I wrote a book a few years ago called The Pesher of Christ, and it tells the true story of Jesus and his church. It tells the story from the very beginning and towards the end after he died. And I thought that I would want to bring it to YouTube. It might be more accessible that way. Section 3, 29 AD to 30 AD, the marriage of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Chapter 27, June 29 AD. The mother of Mary Magdalene makes a request of Jesus. Jesus visits the convent at Murd, where Magdalene is cloistered. Her mother Helena touches his garment. Jesus says, "Who is touching my garment?" Helena says, "Yes, it is I, because I am very worried. I was shocked when you sent out your 6 disciples, and you told them to avoid the Samaritans, for as you know, Magdalene, my natural daughter, is a Samaritan." Jesus replies, "Mother Superior, you know that some accept the Samaritans as Jews, and some do not. I was just trying to limit the scope of the mission." Helena replies, "Yes, but when you divide the loaves of the holy table and distribute them to the Jewish elders and pilgrims, even the dogs get to eat the crumbs that fall from the table." You are astute as always, Helena. You are making me aware of the impending scorn of Pharisees and scribes, who will say, "Is it not a marriage of illegitimates?" I have been meaning to expand the mission of Peter and Andrew to the Gentiles, and I must do so without delay. Thank you, my future son-in-law. You are truly a man of compassion and a progressive leader of the Essene poor. Chapter 28, August 29th, A.D., the Bat Mitzvah of Mary Magdalene. Outside the convent, Jesus says, "Judas, where is Magdalene? She has not come out." Judas says, "Did Helena defile you just now? You know she had an issue of blood for over 12 years. At 12, Magdalene should have had her Bat Mitzvah, and she is too old now to be blessed. By Essene standards, she is infertile for motherhood." Jesus replies, "As I have said before, get you behind me, Satan. It is laughable that you consider a woman as being defiled just because she is capable of menstruating. For such is a nun and a virgin. You can be assured that she is not on her period today, or she would have been forbidden to touch me. After her betrothal, Magdalene will be free of your meddling." Jesus goes inside the convent with Peter, James, and John. Magdalene is sobbing. Judas says, "I am too old and not a Jew, and I might as well be dead." Jesus says to Magdalene, "Young maiden, although you are now 26, next week shall be your Bat Mitzvah. Before my disciples I will declare your entry from girl to woman as a true member of the tribe of Asher. It will not be a sorrowful day, but a celebration of life-giving force that was granted to Eve. In March we will be betrothed." Drying her tears and blushing, "You have made me young again. I pray that our marriage will be fruitful." Chapter 29, March 30th A.D., first miracle of water into wine, betrothal of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. It is March 30, A.D. All are seated at the common table. Joses, son 3, begins pouring from a large jug into his mother's silver wine goblet. Mother Mary exclaims, "This is just water. This is a terrible mistake. You have forgotten to order the wine." Joses continue pouring. Jesus says, "Wait until you are all filled." Now before the goblets containing fresh water from the huge limestone jugs that are normally used for baptism, no one drinks until we say a prayer to God. Bow your heads and close your eyes, as Father Jonathan gives a long prayer, ending with, "May God find this day acceptable to him." Simon switches the goblets. They open their eyes, astonished to see the water has turned to wine. Peter shouts, "A miracle! Let us toast the bride." Helena, tasting it, says, "But the bad wine is usually served last." They laugh. Jesus says, "From today, all baptized Gentiles and women will be welcomed at the common table." Father Jonathan joins the hands of Jesus and Magdalene together, saying, "Jesus and Mary, you are now betrothed." Chapter 30, October 30 AD. The Sins of the Mother. Jesus had returned tired and hungry from spending 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness of Merd to prepare for his marriage bed. Certain Pharisees are pointing to Helena, saying, "We denounce you as a prostitute." They pick up stones. Helena says, "You accuse me wrongly. I served as a virgin at the temple of Artemis." Although the ignorant believe these temples to be brothels, they are respected by the emperor. If you have an issue with me, you should speak to him. Well said. Jesus helps her up. This woman has been baptized and cleared of all sin. Who of you would like to give me a written accusation against her that I can forward to Tiberius? One of the Pharisees shouts as he leaves, "Her daughter Mary Magdalene is also a whore like her." Jesus answers, "The sins of the fathers and the mothers are not passed to the child. Our church baptizes and forgives all sin." Jesus comforting Helena, who is shaken. It seems that people are so fast to see the bad and never the good. Chapter 31, October 30th AD. The Marriage, Song of Solomon. Pope Magus is seated at the table and is joined by Jesus. Magdalene kneels and washes Jesus' feet and takes out the myrrh ointment from an alabaster box and rubs it on his feet with her headscarf, as her tears fall on his feet also. Gently pulling her up, Jesus says, "Mary, do not cry. Those people who are going to stone your mother and called you a whore are just self-righteous sinners. You and your mother are without sin." He kisses her on the lips. Pope Simon says, "What are we to do about her dowry? Being a daughter of the Asher convent, she has retained her money when she joined." Jesus answers, 2 debtors were given to a certain creditor. The one was owing 500 denaries, and the other 50, and they not having the wherewithal to give back, he forgave both. Which one of them, say you, would love him more? As a sinner, does she not deserve to be forgiven more? Skillful use of sin, Simon replies. There you are using those parables again. It seems to me that the only sin here is the wasting of the expensive myrrh on you. Jesus says, "That sounds like something that Judas would say. I am glad he is not here." Simon begins the ceremony. Arise and be joined together in marriage. Jesus, you have already kissed the bride. Now depart with her to the Garden of Solomon. The next section is section 4, September 30 AD to December 32 AD. Miracles are metaphors.